From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley from MrTopStep with a very special guest, my special guest, Jeffrey Hirsch from the Traders Almanac. Welcome to Chicago, Jeff.
Pleasure
and
to
the
be
Chicago Mercantile.
A lot of fun down here.
Great, great. You know, we just gave Jeff a tour, and we talked a little bit about the difference of what's going on in New York with some of those rooms and what's going on here, and it is a big difference, isn't it?
It's impressive. The place is much bigger than I expected. I've never been to the CME. I've been to New York a lot of times, the New York Stock Exchange, and it's amazing how much action still happens here as opposed to people sitting at their computers in New York City.
I think the CME is kind of dispelling the myth about these floors closing.
It looks quite vital and useful. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of great action going on.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, we're going to hit a couple of topics here today, and the one that we were going to hit first, because we're over in the S&Ps, and that's what we do for a living. We're going to talk about sentiment. And let's hear, I'd like to kind of get your view of where you think things are going.
Well, one of the sentiment indicators that I like to track is the commitment of traders report on the S&P, the E-mini or the big contract. And I find that the small specs are a good contrary indicator for the market. So right now we're seeing the small speculators on the large contract, the big S&P contract, beginning to get more bullish going into this rally. They have been kind of flat for a while. So that's something I'm watching right now. It hasn't gotten extended enough, and there's not enough bearish sentiment in the commercials and the large specs to really indicate a top. So I think this is going to run a little bit until the small specs get deep in long, and then we'll probably see the market roll over.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, as we were talking about a little earlier, you know, what we've noticed about the S&P, and it's really been a standout feature, is how the S&P will go up, make a high, pull back 30 or 40 handles, and then back and fill. And I guess that has a lot to do with those sellers coming back into the market, and then the market surges back up, and then you get that more bullish sentiment.
The bears have not thrown the towel yet. I look at also the investors' intelligence percentage of advisors bullish and bearish, and also the CBOE equity only put call ratio as two other sentiment indicators. Most of it's contrary. So the bulls on the investors' intelligence have come back a little bit from about 54% bullish to about 51%, but the bears are still about 24.5%. Still a good amount of bears in there. So you're looking for a number up about 60% bulls on the advisors and down under 20 on the bearish advisors. And then the other thing is the put call ratio has been ticking up a little bit, and that can trend higher for a while. We got about 69% put call ratio from the look at the Barron's 5-day weekly sort of smoothing, and that's begun to rise a little bit. So we'll look for that to peak out, when we get a top.
Right. Okay. Well, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to cover a couple more topics. We're going to sign off on this video, and stay tuned for our next one.